PPE is equipment designed to be worn and held by the worker for protection against one or more health and safety hazards. Following the risk assessment recorded in the company's risk assessment document and in the operational safety plan present on site, the remaining risks of each activity are identified and the correct PPE to be used is chosen. The employer is obliged to provide the necessary PPE to the worker, and it is the worker's obligation to use the PPE correctly, as per the work procedures. One of the fundamental features for making the correct choice in equipment is the CE marking, i.e. the declaration of conformity with the specific UNI-EN technical standards for each type of PPE. There are different types of PPE, such as the hard hat, which, being a fundamental piece of equipment for on-site work, must be adjusted correctly. If there is danger of falling, for example when working with safety harnesses, on mobile elevating work platforms or scaffolding, helmets with a chin strap must be worn. Ear defenders and earplugs, or canal caps, these PPE are useful for reducing the probability of contracting occupational illnesses such as hearing loss or deafness, which is one of the most common illnesses in the construction industry. Basic criteria such as the level of noise, ease of use, hygiene and portability of the equipment must be taken into account in order to make the right choice. Goggles and visors. These PPE are useful for protecting the eyes and also, in the case of visors, the most exposed parts of the face during work, where there may be flying shards or debris. In general, safety goggles should always be on hand when material cutting or demolition work is being carried out. It is important that these PPE are not dirty or scratched, so as to ensure perfect vision when carrying out a job. It is also essential to have eye protection when mixing or using chemicals. If chemical splash comes into contact with the eyes, it could cause dangerous irritations. Respirators and masks. There are different types of respiratory protection, and choosing the right one must be done according to the work carried out and the products used. They can be classified into filtering face pieces, which are disposable PPE that provide varying levels of protection from inhalable dust, fumes or mists, depending on the type of class they belong to. FFP1, FFP2, FFP3. Full or half face piece respirators, which can protect against different chemical agents depending on the replaceable filter used. They offer protection from organic, inorganic, and acid gases, such as, for example, solvents or resins. Dusts and fibres present in the workplace can, in fact, cause respiratory system diseases, such as asthma or bronchitis. Gases and chemical vapours can enter the circulatory system and cause long-term illnesses. High visibility clothing. High visibility overalls, vests and trousers are PPE that make it easier for others to see personnel on the ground, subsequently decreasing the risk of being run over by moving vehicles. When carrying out roadworks, their use is mandatory, which protects the worker, especially in the event of fog or poor visibility. Even on the construction site, when work is being carried out with moving vehicles, ground personnel should wear this type of clothing to make themselves more visible to the operators of the vehicles. Safety harnesses. In order to use this equipment correctly, it is essential to have been trained, as the type of situations that may arise are endless. Among the many things to know, there are some key points, such as make sure that the anchor point, hook, or lifeline is certified in order to guarantee the load-bearing capacity in case the worker falls. Choose the type of lanyard or retractable on the basis of important parameters, such as the priority of work in restraint, the working height in relation to the floor below, and the need to have an element that dissipates the energy of a fall. Use connecting elements correctly, such as carabiners, webbing, and hooks, and know how to check the suitability of the harness, as well as know how to adjust it effectively. Gloves. Hand protection must be specific to the type of risk. Next to the CE marking, Gloves have a series of information and pictograms printed on them that identify specific hazards and the relevant standards. In addition to protection against cuts, abrasions, punctures and tears, there are also specific gloves on the market to reduce the vibrations transmitted to the upper limbs by handheld equipment. Safety shoes and boots. Safety shoes, specifically for working on construction sites, are resistant to oils, are non-slip, anti-static, and equipped with safety toe caps and puncture-resistant soles. Depending on the work being performed, footwear can have dielectric characteristics, greater cut resistance, and better insulation against heat and cold.